Good morning, dear. I'm about to do a painting. I've actually done a small one already, and I had it on record, but it didn't record, so you didn't get to see that one. But it was only repainting a picture I'd done before. The blue one, I can see it looks really nice, but this time leaving the white in it and tried a few other little things. It's quite good. I'll show it to you later. But now I'm on to the main painting I want to do today. So I've taped it up. This is repainting on. It's all really rough because it's got the paper behind, but I don't think it's going to matter. But now I'm just going to cover it, as you know, with liquid white. So the blue one today I tried without doing the liquid white. I just only a tiny bit of it. It worked, but it was difficult. So I'm just going to go back to what I know. And that's used the liquid white just to make the paint nice and slippery and slip on. So here we're doing that. Crisscross strokes. And I mixed that up earlier. You can see it was it's got to 10 and I'm on the second painting. So it's not bad for a Sunday. So but these are only going to do 2 oils today anyway. I've done one already, but it's only a small one, and it was a painting I did before, and I only had 2 colours in it, so it really only took about half an hour to paint, which is quite quick. And I'm looking at it now, and I'll show it to you later. And from here, it looks fantastic actually, really good. And also let me try out not doing the liquid white all over. I just did it in the top section of that liquid white, and what I found the paint very hard to put on. Whoops, I'm getting colour for you don't want. So I haven't really cleaned my brushes properly. It takes too long. So I'm going to be blue up there anyway, so I'm not too worried. Alright. There we go, it's just liquid white. Put it on. Got blue up there, but that's going to be sky. So we'll leave with that. And it's got covered everywhere. But where's that from? Ah, from down here. Picking it up from my easel. That's why. So don't come down too far. As I said, that blue's done on here anyway. Yeah. It shows your fingerprints, so that's about right amount, not too much. Baby wipes, only they're good. Clean the oil paint off, works. Alright, that's good. And we'll leave that be there. Probably use same paintbrush, not point worrying about it. And I just bit of Talo blue, which was the colour I used for the other one anyway. And we just see sky. Yeah, easy. It's a very strong colour. So bring it in. Down a bit. Actually, watch this. Just remember I was talking to you about perspective. Well, this whole painting is about perspective. So what I'm going to do is brush down there and brush down there. This one bit there is called your vanishing point. Okay. So we're talking about perspective, and this is really a painting about practicing perspective. Okay. All right. Put it in here. It's really what I want. Okay. There we go. It's probably good enough for the sky. This is not really about the sky, this one. So I wonder if I can just trying something here. Yeah, it's not really important. Bit too bristly, this brush. Hints of clouds. It's not really about the sky. This one is about perspective, so we just like that. A bit streaky. There. That'll do. Not even going to blend that too much. All right, and clean that brush off. Now I'm doing a little hand painting here, so I'm actually going to, I haven't even put all the colours out yet, so I'm going to be playing his video and backwards and forwards as I go. So just bear with me. He's about to make up a purpley colour.
We just use a bit of cobalt blue and run a little bit of crimson into it. Now don't mix your colours.
Right, I've got that back a bit.
Underneath makes our sky glow in the distance. To get ready, I'll mix up a purpley colour. We just use a bit of cobalt blue and run a little bit of crimson into it. Now don't mix your colours completely. I'm going to put a bit.
Cobalt blue and crimson. I've got both of those, so I'm just going to get them. Crimson. There's a alizarin crimson. Get a bit out. I'll leave it out because I'll probably have to make some more up. Cobalt blue. A lot easier. Burnt sienna, he just used a bit of that, so I better get it out. Yellow green, sap green, that looks blue, cobalt blue. Alright. Obviously going to go in. He had a bit of burnt sienna in the sky. We didn't, but I get it out anyway. Okay. Now, mix up a purple. See what happens. Alright, so I've got crimson and blue. And it doesn't want it mixed up too much. And a bit of white in there. To get it pale. Yeah, there you go. Got it. Don't mix them up too much, he said. Oh, well, I won't. What's he do with it?
Got a white paint there on my painting ready to use. And then I'll pick up a little bit of our purple that we mixed, and that'll be the start of our background. Now the fun starts. We make it up as we go along. What we do, we mix the purple and the white together to give us a very dull purpley colour in the distance. And then as we come forward, we get much bigger and darker. So just...
Gotcha. So... let's see what happens. Bit of purple. But he wants it lighter. So obviously we need to get some white. I don't think this is the right brush for it. I'm going to go smaller. But I'll just mix up the colour as soon as I've got it already. Mix it up on here. That's it. And just blocking in with this. Okay. So I actually need a smaller brush than that. So what you did.
Brush in a few brush strokes to give you the idea of getting bigger as you come towards you. And these will all be buildings up here. We don't know what it is. It might be a tree, might be a building. We're making it up as we go along.
All right. Okay, I've got it now. So let's finish this off. Put you into clean. And you might even still be too big. It's got blue on it, but we want blue. So as it comes along, bigger and darker. Okay. And let's dirty a brush in the white. Make this pale. Pale. And then pick it up. And 1, 2, 3. Bigger and dark is what I'm getting here. Right. I'm using these lines, that's part of my perspective. That's what we're talking about with perspective. And I've used up all that purple already on the brush. I need to make some more, which was crimson. And let's see, a cobalt blue. It's nice and dark there. Yeah, dark on this way. So here. Get lighter as we go on back. And as it says, get all the colours. Now, we're eventually going to have the same on this side. So I'm just going to drop some in now. Getting bigger and darker as we go along. And I haven't mixed the colours like he said, so we get all variations. It needs to be lighter down there, so we'll just grab a bit of that white. And here, it's got bigger and that's going to be dark there, so let's do the same. And we're going to add, this is just blocking in, so it should be a bit higher there too. Darker, yeah. Lighter, smaller. Darker, lighter, lighter, smaller. Yep, okay, that's good. And what's he do with it?
Now, one of the hard things is to remain pale in the background.
Okay, yes.
Remain very pale in the background, and as you come forward, you can get darker and darker. You can clean the brush down there. Now, let's get a little bit of shape happening. It'll come towards us at an angle about like that. That's about it. And the other side of the lane is the same. This is why it's so good to be painting lanes. Perspective is just a normal lane, but it does all join together in a focal point right in the middle of the picture. Now we start blocking in our buildings. They get bigger as they come towards us. They're just little boxes. And they also get darker as they come towards us. I'm using a flat hog bristle brush. It's probably about a 3/4 inch wide hog bristle brush. That's about 2 centimetres. And I'm using the purple that we mixed. You'll notice too in the purple, there's all different shapes.
So he's really, all he's really done there is rocking them in. I still need to watch him. Yeah.
There's a purple there. There's a blue purple, and I can see a red purple. It's because I didn't mix my colours properly. I don't need to mix the colours properly. Keep them pale in the distance and slowly getting darker as they come towards us. Well, I brushed ahead a little bit here. Lock it in. Make sure that you've got all those pretty colours. Don't brush it and brush it till you've got nothing. You'll see there's some crimson and you'll see some blue in there. A little bit of everything. And make it up as you go along. Don't be too fussy. And now for the other side. Just the same thing, only different. Very pale in the distance. That looks like a tree there. Put a little bit darker tree in front of it. There's another tree. And what do we have now? Well, whatever we have, it's going to be darker as it comes towards us and bigger as it comes towards us. You'll see I'm using a straight down brush stroke. That looks more like a shed. The crisscross brush stroke looks like trees. And by having your colours loosely mixed and putting them on loosely, you get this variation of colours, which looks good. You can even go as far as putting your colours on in single colour. There's a lot of crimson in there. And put a bit of blue over the top. And mix your colours that way. Or we might have a tree up there. Just brush it in. Make sure your canvas is all covered. Now I'll quickly fill in this edge of the painting with a few squares and crosses, which gives us the idea there's some sort of building there. We can build on that later. And there's a tree up the top. So we'll have a lot of mushroom shapes up here, sort of hanging over. It's great. Make it up as you go along. Do keep that perspective right. You see how big we are here and how little we were in the distance. And because it's a tree, I'm moving into the raw sienna. Let's have a little bit of raw sienna on it. Make it look a little bit more foliage-like. Roundy tree shapes. That'll do.
No, I've got to do what he's just got up to there. So I've got to make some more paint because I've run out already. So there's a bit more blue. Use a lot of blue. Cobalt blue. And I've got a lot of crimson. So we'll whack some crimson on. It's on the purple already, so just mix it in, like he said, not over mix it. Dark, descend. Yep. Getting light in that tree as we come down, and he's put in descend here. He's put in a few dab mushroom shapes, tree style thing for here. And here it's done the same. Oh, here's made a big tree shaped thing. To Sandy's got a lot of white just going straight down. Yeah. And it's got raw sienna, wasn't it? Let's just sienna something. Burnt sienna. So this must be the raw sienna. And it's just gone dab with this all over the place. Which doesn't help, it doesn't hurt. Trees down there. So that's what's doing now.
And across the other side, you'll have some raw sienna foliage. That's rather dark raw sienna, that one, some of them very pale. So now it's time to start filling in our painting. I have a selection of colours here, a little bit of everything. And we'll go to the painting and we'll start putting on the colour on the sheds. And in the distance.
Alright, let's see. Let's just. Right, I have to move down. Just go back a bit because he's got a few colours there. What's he got?
So now it's time to start filling in our painting. I have a selection of colours here, a little bit of everything. And we'll go to the painting and we'll start putting on the colour on the sheds. And in the distance, they're very dull colours. I'm using quite a large flat brush. It's about a 2-inch flat brush. And I rated it was all colours. I'm cleaning in the middle of the road. Now back to the smaller flat brush. I'm using burnt sienna here, put on straight, and I can run a bit of white over it later. Burnt sienna is a good colour. It looks like rusty iron.
So I got burnt sienna. I just found it. Here it is. Burnt sienna. I think I want to go to my, this brush here. I like this brush. Clean it off. Get it dirty in the colour I want to use. Clean that off. And it's just gone through and different here because he's on acrylics and it makes it, he's painting wet over dry, whereas I'm getting a bit more difficulty, but never mind. Still working. And all different colours on the brush. Okay. And do the same down here. Okay, went with burnt sienna, just kind of, yeah. I'm not really trying to do exactly what he's doing, but I'm trying to get some idea. Just trying to get the paint to come off, really. That one's worked out all right. Yeah. Don't know what colours are going to come out because we've got it all on the palette. There we go. Watch a bit further.
So run it in straight brush strokes, which will look like buildings. This is getting bigger, and I'm using more colour here. So as I come forward, there's much more colour here than what there is in the background. And this shed is getting quite big, so it has big brush strokes and a lot of colour. Looks like a doorway there. Okay. So I'll put it in with a horizontal brush stroke, and maybe it'll look like a rock.
It's done there. Kind of work there.
On the door. And then continue down the lane, a little bit here, a little bit there. I'll put it down the lane there because my brush was loaded with a rather pale colour, which goes quite good in the distance. Make it up as you go along. Clean your brush in the middle of the road. Remember to clean your brush often by pulling it through a rag and mix your colours so you can pick up a few colours on your brush at once. And try your best not to go back over your brush strokes. Just put the paint on in single brush strokes, getting bigger and heavier as you come towards you. Maybe you need to go back and touch up a bit you missed, but do it with chunky brush strokes. And remember to keep your brush strokes going in the direction of the iron on the roof, or the direction of the roof. That's burnt sienna and white I used there. And here we'll have the siding with phthalo green and white because it's very close to us. I'm wondering what to put here, but I can see a fence will go well. We can just fill this area in with a fence. Put a bit of shadow and then block it in with a dark colour. A few little bits here and there that'll show there's dark and light, and then bring our fence big and bring it towards us. And then here the fence can be burnt umber, that's a foreground colour. Slope it down, make sure it's sloping down all the way into the distance. Don't use burnt umber in the distance. Let's have something of interest here, a bit of burnt sienna, maybe a sign, an old sign, anything on the fence. You make it up as you go along. Clean the brush. And across the other side, the two browns on our brush at once, burnt sienna and burnt umber. We'll have a little gate there, I think. And this looks like it's going to be another shed. Let's fill it. It in, just design it as you go along, clean the brush, and then we'll fill in the doorway. The doorway is much lighter toned in this occasion, just to give us a bit of contrast so you know it's there. And we'll have a straight up and down doorway, seeing we've got a horizontal doorway on the other side of the painting. And here, because it is the foreground, we can have our darkest darks and our brightest brights, so we can have quite a big brush strokes of quite a lot of bright and a lot of dark. This area here will be foliage, so keep your darks leaning into the picture. We'll put some lights on that later and colour all this in later.
Let's have a look at what he's got going on there. Right. Let's get some of this with this. And the white's not coming off. But never mind, it's just this might be where I go for a little bit of white like this. And there. Go. Right, let's get going forward. See what more he's got to do.
Colouring the lane, I'm using my darkest colour. You see, I use the side of the brush in the distance and the flat of the brush in the foreground. We need a lot of paint here, so I'll put it.
All right, we're going to fill in the lane. Using this darker colour. Some of you, and you. Spread.
On quickly. I'll make a few streaks coming towards me. It looks more like a road. And that's any of our dark colours. I think I use mainly the purple and a bit of burnt umber in there. Now for the edge of the road, we'll use our warm yellow. Use the tip of the brush, the side of the brush. And as I come down, I'll twist the brush and the brush will return flat. So the brush stroke gets much wider as it comes towards us. And let's do the same on the other side. Load the very tip of your brush. Push it on and flatten your brush as you come down. Fill it in, and that's the side of our road. Here we can blend the yellow into the purple. That'll turn it into a green. Use little brush strokes in the distance and the bigger brush strokes in the foreground, and then fill in your...
Alright, so we need some yellow. Let's paintbrush. I've got two yellows that I'm going to use. I wouldn't mind trying the Indian yellow. If I can find it. See what it looks like. We tried it. I haven't tried it yet. If I don't like it, I'll change it over to cad yellow. No, it's just really a brown. It's just not what I want. So it's got to be a cad yellow. Which is one out of. apparently doesn't want to come off the brush. Right, so that.
Corner. Now I want to put those road marks in again. I use the edge of the brush and make this brush stroke bigger as I come towards you. You push the brush on harder as it comes towards you. This will give you a bit more perspective. Don't make them very obvious, just blend them in a little bit. But these could be tyre tracks or just general things. When you look up a road, you see streaks going up the road or up the lane. Yeah, that's enough. That gives us distance. Now we can cut. Colouring in with all our pretty colours. That's a little bit of phthalo green and yellow. Yeah, just keep adding your colours. Here with the dead brush stroke, we curve it around for the trees. Now this brush is loaded with quite a few colours. Just load it with lots of colour. And dab round in big mushroom shapes to give you those tree shapes. And you'll see I put a few little red flowers along the fence and little bits and pieces.
I need a really thin yellow.
Just to brighten it up. Dab, dab, dab. Don't go overboard with this, and make sure you leave spaces between your foliage so you can put some branches. Now I'll put a red one here, and then we'll come back soon with a very bright purple tree. If you place a little bit of white on top of your red, it always brings it out, especially in towards the middle of the picture. Bring your eye into the picture. And of course, across the other side, you can have all your pretty colours. There's always something lovely hanging over the fence in the lane. I like to walk down the lanes. You get all types of fruits and beautiful trees hanging over everyone's back fence. Dab, dab, dab. Just put your little flowers in all along the edge of the road. And remember, as they come to
this one, so I'm not really happy with at the moment. Definitely much easier to do in acrylics because my paint's not coming off like it's supposed to. It's still not finished yet, so let's just see how we go as we go along. Back to my brush. And we get a nice red colour in there. We got a nice red here. And we'll just try first off. I'll try and texture it. Yeah. Leaving a good texture, but I bet this don't quite take it off. Not really. Pulling the purple off, which is what we thought would happen. So we fix that. Let's see. Like that. Not really get that in there. So right there. That's good. That's soon enough. All right.
Towards you, the dab trait gets bigger, big, vibrant dabs in the foreground because this is right near us, and little tiny ones in the background. Add some blue and white flowers, they always look pretty. White and blue, they can go in the distance also. And here and there, just a few little things. You can touch up all your mistakes here. If you've got any little bits of canvas showing, dab a few little flowers over the top. Touch it up, and it's starting to look pretty. Now, when you're filling in your foliage, put the bright of the foliage into the picture. You'll notice I've got the sun shining on one side of the tree on this side of the picture, and on the other side of the tree on the other side of the picture. That doesn't matter. Oh yes, I just remembered there's a lot of palms in Mullumbimby, especially in the laneways. You do them with your fan brush. They're quite easy, see? Just put it in like that. Now I've got dark and light on the fan brush. The dark underneath, the light on top. And that'll give us a few palms. Now next we need to detail a few things, and we'll run some sunlight up the edge of the roof with a little round brush. That's a little round soft head brush. I'm holding it with 2 fingers and I'm using a light colour that's not quite white. It'll be white with a little bit of blue in or a bit of purple in, just a little bit of off-white. And just run a few lines around where you think sunlight might be hitting on pieces of wood sticking out and bits and pieces. But not too much. Don't go to too much trouble and don't detail anything, because when you look down the lane, you can't see what's going on. Until you get right up and look at something, you don't quite know what it is. And there's a lot of things that are broken and crooked, so just leave them like that. Then we need to put in our branches. Pale blue is a good colour for distant branches. Load your little fine hairbrush with a light blue and pull it up and gravity will bring the paint off the brush for you. Try and hold your brush with 2 fingers. Oh, those bright spots I put there are a little bit too bright. I'll just knock them back a little bit. Then we can have some telegraph poles. In the telegraph pole there, there's light and dark on that brush. It works rather well like that. And a little cross. That's enough for a telegraph pole. And another telegraph pole here. Of course, it's bigger, much taller, and a much bigger bar on it. There. You can leave these wires out if you wish. They're not easy. Just have a few wires hanging here and there, down to the shed and down to the next telegraph pole. And of course we need to put our branches in for the trees. Now I'm going to draw a line down the edge of the road. My white paint is working rather well off this brush at the moment, so I'll do it with the brush. There we are. And down the edge of the road on the other side, we'll get a white line. And I don't want it too detailed. Just brush it in as long as it's in the right direction. We might fade that out later. You can leave your road without grass down the middle. You don't need to put a bit of grass down the middle. I'll load my grass colours on the brush and just lay them on there. I'm just placing them there. I'm not exactly painting the grass yet. There's plenty of yellow, a little bit of blue, a little bit of crimson, all in there together. With the fan brush, touch it on and move it up, and you'll turn it into grass. Try to work from your background towards the foreground and get your grass finished as you come down. There's quite big grass in the foreground, of course. And then now I've got my fan brush in my hand, I'm also smear out that road a little bit, make it look like something's been on there. There's a few reds on the road. That looks okay. Not too much though. Now I can increase the perspective by making this bit here much darker. So I'll move some darks into there and that'll throw the background.
The problem I've got is it's too wet and oily. So what we might have to do, which you can do with oil, is just wipe some of that off, which I'm going to do on that road, because I can't get any paint to stick to it. See if we can get some yellow to stick to that. Let's see what that brush can do. Really. know how to fix this. So colour, really, yellow or light green. This is going to work. We're going to make some go up in the bag. And let's try you. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, having a big problem with this. Can't fix it, I don't think. Okay, I need alizarin crimson. Make up that purple again. A bit of phthalo blue. With no there's on it. I'll just make up that purple road. Now, what the problem was, my colours won't stick to the road because the road's too much thinners in it. So now I've just put on a straight load of paint, no thinners at all. Alizarin crimson and phthalo blue. I'm supposed to make purple, but I just made dark blue. But, okay, that's the colour it is. The colour it is. Hopefully our thin paint will now stick to this. Which we'll find out. Another brush dirty. I'll keep that out of the oil for a bit in case I need it. Now, I've got a very thin yellow, which I'm going to try and get on here. Yeah, it is maybe a bit too thin. what we need to do really now is get a clean palette. Am I going to? Probably not. Should use a bit of that. Red is what I should be using up. Right, I really need to maybe use that yellow up somehow first. I don't know how. It's awful. Just can't do it in oils, I think, is the problem. making up a new palette because you don't want to say muddy and dirty. That, yeah, impossible to use. But I don't think I got enough to clean my brushes with to be good either, but we'll try. And the first thing I need some white for the liner brush. So we'll just do that first. We get a clean white, no other colour. How about that? So find it. There it is. Clean it. Really clean it. And get some thinners. Well, I've been on this painting for ages and it's not looking very good, dear. But we'll persevere and let's see what happens. And the main thing is try and keep our brush clean. Oh, look at that. The handle is filthy dirty with paint. What is the bloody up here? Okay. That's good.
Round back further, look like it's right at our feet there. That's a bit dark. I'll put a few yellows over it and bring it up into big grass. Yeah, that looks better. Well, it's not bright enough for me. I want it a bit brighter. So I'm going to go along here with some warm yellow. That'll mix in with the darker colours because my paint's still wet. I'm working in acrylics. You might be working in oils. And it'll turn into a green. So that's the gully beside the road. And down the other side also. Let's have some bright yellows and greens in there. That looks better. I have a new colour on my palette. It's violet and white. I'll put a jacaranda tree curving into the picture. I make the branches very jagged as they are with the jacaranda tree, going in all directions. They seem to hang over. They like that hanging over look. And that's brown and white on my brush at once. For the foliage on the gum tree, I'm mixing crimson and some ultramarine blue. With my big round hog bristle brush, I'll saturate it with the dark, and then I'll pick up the violet with some white on the tip of my brush and take it across to the paint and dab the dark on the bottom and the light on top, dab, 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 and that'll give you that beautiful jacaranda look, the dark and light of the jacaranda tree. Do clean your brush each time you reload it. Clean it by pulling it through a rag. If you don't clean it, your purples will become muddy. So do clean it. Each time you pick up the paint, pull it to a chisel point, pick up the dark on one side and the light on the other, and dab it directly on. Dab it rather firmly, and you'll get that beautiful crispy look of the trees. Because the foliage is so dark here, you may need to put white branches in the trees so they'll stand out amongst the foliage. So with your little round soft brush, paint in a few white branches, but not too many. And if you don't see them all, it doesn't matter. Just put them in roughly, and that's enough. And now with your brush loaded the same way, we can place all those beautiful jacaranda leaves that fall all over the ground when the tree molts. It loses its leaves and it looks beautiful all over the ground. Here we are, dab, 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 dab. Working in acrylics, you might be working in oils, and it'll turn into a green. So that's a gully beside that road, and down the other side also. Let's have some bright yellows and greens in there. That looks better. I have a new colour on my palette. It's violet and white. And we'll put a jacaranda tree curving into the picture. I'll make the branches very jagged as they
Doesn't work, does it?
They go with the jacaranda tree, going in all directions. They seem to hang over. They like that hanging over look. And that's brown and white on my brush at once. For the foliage on the gum tree, I'm mixing crimson and some ultramarine blue. And with my big round hog bristle brush, I'll saturate it with the dark, and then I'll pick up the violet with some white on the tip of my brush and take it across to the paint and dab the dark on the bottom and the light on top. Dab, 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 and that'll give you that beautiful jacaranda look, the dark and light of the jacaranda tree. Do clean your brush each time you reload it. Clean it by pulling it through a rag. If you don't clean it, your purples will become muddy. So do clean it. Each time you pick up the paint, pull it to a chisel point, pick up the dark on one side and the light on the other, and dab it directly on. Dab it rather firmly, and you'll get that beautiful crispy look of the trees. Because the foliage is so dark here, you may need to put white branches in the trees so they'll stand out amongst the foliage. So with your little round soft brush, paint in a few white branches, but not too many. And if you don't see them all, it doesn't matter. Just put them in roughly, and that's enough. Overlook, and that's brown and white on my brush at once. For the foliage on the gum tree, I'm mixing crimson and some ultramarine blue. And with my big round hog bristle, or brush, I'll saturate it with a dark, and then I'll pick up the violet with some white on the tip of my brush and take it across to the paint and dab the dark on the bottom and the light on top. Dab, 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 and that'll give you that beautiful jacaranda look, the dark and light of the jacaranda tree. Do clean your brush each time you reload it. Clean it by pulling it through a rag. If you don't clean it, your purples will become muddy. So do clean it. Each time you pick up the paint, pull it to a chisel point, pick up the dark on one side and the light on the other, and dab it directly on. Dab it rather firmly, and you'll get that beautiful crispy look of the trees. Because the foliage is so dark here, you may need to put white branches in the trees so they'll stand out amongst the foliage. So with your little round soft brush, paint in a few white branches, but not too many. And if you don't see them all, it doesn't matter. Just put them in roughly, and that's enough. And now with your brush loaded the same way, we can place all those beautiful jacaranda leaves that fall all over the ground when the tree molts. It loses its leaves and it looks beautiful all over the ground. There we are, dab, 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 dab. Just place a few here and there. Now, we're nearly finished. Have a look at your painting and see what else you might need to finish it off. I'll just put a few more leaves here because I think they're pretty. There we are. And I think I need a branch here, a prominent branch. Break up that area there. That's it. Just a white branch. That'll do.
I'm sure you can do that. You can go ahead and run around now. Make sure you put the background and come with your dark colours. Try to do it with perspective.